Welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you Holo Taco's Halloween collection for 2025. This is a 5-piece collection in a variety of finishes. We also have one limited edition thermal that will be releasing alongside this collection. Holo Taco is also bringing back Aqua glow-in-the-dark taco, so that will be available for sale as well. Down in the description box you will find links to Holo Taco's site and social media so you can shop. All right, we have some gorgeously vampy shades to look at today, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches. So we're going to start off with the crellies first, get the less exciting shades out of the way. This is just Vamping, and it's described as being a deep eggplant shade in a buildable crelly formula. So this one had a good formula. I was very pleased with it on application. 2 to 3 coats for full opacity. Don't overwork it. You will get maybe a little bit of patchiness if you do that, but I think shorter nailings will be able to stick with 2 coats for this. Longer nails, however, will want a third. This is what it looks like in 2 coats, and upon further inspection, I saw a little bit of patchiness, so my full hand swatch here shows 3 coats with a glossy top coat, and I do feel like that deepened up the base color just slightly. This shade is delicious. Before reading the description, I saw this color on my nails and I was like, oh my gosh, this is eggplant. So hats off for accurate color description. It's so dark, rich, delicious. I actually kept this on for several hours after swatching this collection before I had to move on to swatching something else, and it was glorious on my nails. I'm not a big cream polish wearer, and maybe I have something similar to this already, but it was beautiful on the nails. Next up we have So Toxic, and it's described as being a bright plasma green crelly polish. So for me, formula-wise, this one was underwhelming. My biggest advice is do as few brush strokes as you can. The more you overwork this polish, the more brush strokes you use to apply, the more patchiness you will have. So you'll see a lot of patchiness with this and 3 coats. This was my first time applying this polish. My second time applying it was for my full hand swatches, and when I did that, I did fewer brush strokes and had less patchiness, although there still was some there. So this one has a tricky formula, I would say. You know, it's a gorgeous color, so maybe it's still worth it, but I do have other neon greens that were fully opaque in 2 coats, so yeah. But this is 3 coats with a glossy top coat. You really can't see a ton of patchiness here. It's, like I said, a beautiful shade of lime green. It's so limey and bright and fresh and fun. Great for Halloween, wonderful for summer too. And I just feel like this shade of lime green in particular is really like approachable and wearable and flattering. Someone said that it is the perfect Nickelodeon slime green, and I have to agree. Up next we have Dead Serious, and this one's described as being a multichrome formula that shifts from blackened purple to red. The formula on this was so dang dreamy. Look how smooth, how even, how self-leveling the formula is for this. It was an absolute dream to apply. I would say between 2 and 3 coats depending on your application and nail length for full opacity. I have it shown in 2 coats here, but again, upon further inspection, I wanted that 3rd coat, and I'm glad I added it because I do feel like it deepened up the black base just a little bit. So this is 3 coats with a glossy top coat, and like, come on. My heart may have just skipped a beat. This is so shifty. So freaking shifty. Like, look at that gorgeous red, copper and gold. My word, it's a beautiful polish. I have lots of black to red multi-chromes. lots of them. And I even have quite a few that shift from purple to red. So I was not expecting to be blown away by this shade, but it shifts from the blackest of blacks to the most vibrant, gorgeous red. And it shifts so easily. It was sensational. I am bound and determined to wear this again before Halloween or fall at the very least is over. It just made me feel like Morticia Addams. And who doesn't want to feel like that in October? I do. And then here's what it looks like inside in some indirect lighting near a window. Next up we have Thirst Trap, and this one's a shiny bright blood red metallic microfoil flake formula polish. Y'all, however beautiful you are thinking this is, it's even prettier in person. Rest assured, wonderful formula, easily opaque in 2 coats for everyone, and just the amount of depth and dimension from that like metallic-y foil shimmer stuff. Wow. Wow. So this is 2 coats with a glossy top coat. This one I also wasn't sure I was gonna like because the base is warm, but the red shimmer is a little pink leaning, and I don't love pink leaning reds. I don't love warm reds. I really love a cool blue toned red. But this polish is undeniable. It's so fiery and dimensional with that shimmer. It like almost has a pond effect. When I saw this, immediately what came to mind was like Dorothy's ruby slippers. It just has that kind of sparkle, and the fact that it doesn't have glitter in it or hollow and it's still that sparkly and dimensional is breathtaking. And next up we have Trick or Trash. This one is described as having multicolored foil flakes packed into a near black jelly base. This one also had a fantastic formula, gorgeous jelly base, quite sheer, but builds up really well in 3 coats. I think most will have full opacity in 3 coats. Maybe if your nails are very long, you might have a little bit of visible nail line in 3 coats, but I tend to generally polish on the thin coat side. So this is 3 pretty thin coats. If you apply normal to thick coats, you will have a little more opacity than what's shown here. So here are 3 coats with a glossy top coat. Look at that rainbow of flakies. Completely stunning. My gosh, I love a good black polish, and I have been searching for one with rainbow flakies. I've purchased some and destashed them because I feel like the flakies never show up that well in the black base. This does. And look how gorgeously they smooth out with just a glossy top coat. Yeah, the flakies totally glow in this. They have a beautiful pond effect, and I feel like I see every color in the rainbow in this polish. And next we have Simply Deceased. This one's described as being a blackened burgundy to bright red thermal with red iridescent flakes and scattered hollow. This one is a limited edition shade, so it won't be around forever. And Christine has announced as well that this will be her final birthday shade. So this was fully opaque in 2 coats. Love that. Lots of thermals, especially once they get in that warmer state, do need a 3rd coat for full opacity. So anytime I get a thermal that is fully opaque in 2 coats, even in the warm state, I am so pleased. This one's beautiful in both states as well. Really dark and vampy, rich burgundy, black and red. You can see it on my tips here in 2 coats with a glossy top coat, by the way. And then in its warm state, it has this brighter kind of tomatoey red. The flakies pop really well regardless of whether it's in the cold state or the warm state. I didn't notice a lot of holo in here, so that component is definitely on the subtle side. And then here's what it looks like indoors in some natural lighting. I'm near a window. You can see a little bit more of that cold state on the tips of my nails there. And then the final shade I have to share with you is a returning shade. This is the Aqua Glow in the Dark Taco. It's a topper that glows aqua blue in the dark. And I'm showing it layered over not Milky White, over 2 coats of not Milky White. So I have it shown here over not Milky White because that's what was recommended. It does kind of have a cloudy base, the topper. So if you layer it over deeper colors, it'll slightly like cloud or lighten the base color. So you can see over white, you can't see it unless you turn off the lights. And here's what it looks like when you do that. So you see a little bit of patchiness there. That's from some dragging. When I applied the topper, it picked up the white base. So for that, this is 2 coats of not Milky White showing the Aqua Glow in the Dark Taco. It just looks kind of normal here. But to avoid that dragging, I recommend doing 2 coats of not Milky White, 1 coat of a glossy top coat, letting it dry completely before going in with the topper, and then 1 more coat of top coat because the topper does dry down flat. And then here's what it looks like glowing in the dark after charging it with a UV flashlight for about 20 seconds. It did glow really well after charging it in the sun though. So that was Holo Taco's Halloween collection for 2025. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments. Again, links to shop these will be down in the description box. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!